once you see the line, obviously I was not talking about the weld, but you can put over the weld. Like say I wanted to stack this weld, maybe if we want to put this over on this side, we want to put an additional weld on top of here, and we want to run our weld right down there. Now it'll be a lot easier to see, and that'll just burn right away. It'll be a lot easier to see while you're welding that. You can find your line there. So now that we're absolute professional in our little wire feed welder here, running smoothly is what you should be going for. You don't want to start working anything, doing any movements whatsoever. Just run it along. If your welder's set up correctly and everything's clean, it's going to look just like what I did. If you start trying to move around, you're probably going to start getting slang pockets and all that stuff, and your wire wheel off will have all these not necessarily pinholes like we got in a few of our things. You'll actually get slang inclusions, which are basically when you're moving around, you're moving too quickly. You want to try to avoid doing that, so they would call what I just did a stringer bead, and then there's all sorts of other patterns you can do, and I would try harder in doing stringers, and then you can graduate maybe to a J hook or whatever you want to do. You graduate that, but I would start. Avoid doing any movements like that. Just follow the line of your stringers. And if everything's set just right, this little bead is just fascinating with this thing. If everything's set just right, I think you're going to learn better. You still do movements and stuff that just variables for you to have to think about. And if you're just doing stringer beads, you can really focus on what you're seeing, how the pedals react, and all that stuff. So I highly recommend just doing stringer beads when you're first learning. Save all the fancy patterns, all that stuff for later down the road. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to stack welds in case you're welding something on your tractor or whatever where you need a very large weld because their plates are thicker. How you can stack the welds using a welder similar to this one. So your very first weld is going to be just like your others. You don't want to try to do this all in one pass. You want to stack them. You don't want to just leave them that crazy or do anything crazy like that. We're just going to weld a stringer bead just like we did on our plate right here. Just right across there. This material isn't particularly clean, so we may end up with some problems. This is lucky. I have this. I can actually use as a guide. And then I lose my guide towards the end, so I'm going to pay attention to that. I want to make sure I'm not putting my hand on something hot. Otherwise you're going to have to make some adjustments at your welder. So I'm going to start that. I'm going to just weld a nice little stringer right on there. So a little dot at the end, and that is just so that I don't have a crater at the end, because that'll stack up. If I keep running in the same direction, the end will be a little shy of weld. Now I can get my wire wheel in there, so we're going to have to do it this way. This isn't the stiffest brush in the world, so it's struggling a little bit. So we're going to take our scribe, and if you just scribe right along the edge, there will just pop it up. Now we can push away the rest. We have a really nice little weld there. So now, I don't have a problem seeing this, but just for fun, we'll do our little soapstone trick along that edge. And now we can weld our first pass of our multi-layer pass. So that's going to be right here. We're basically going to be essentially welding this weld to this plate. So we're going to center our wire right along that edge. And that's going to be our first pass of our cover bead if we're just doing a 3-pass weld. Okay. We have our little weld there. So I must have jerked a little bit. I got one of those sliding inclusions, so I just used the tip of this to get the flux out of there so that we don't weld over and hopefully it'll fill in on our next pass. So now we'll do our cover pass. So that one's going to be a little bit more right there. That one's going to be basically going right in between the top of this weld and our rectangular tube there. So we're going to weld right along that line. So this is where you might touch your tip on here, and if you do that, it's going to stop welding, it's going to stick. If that happens, just pull it off, clean up, and we'll start it's not going anywhere, it's going to where you weld. So I'm going to use this as a little guide, and then I'm going to graduate to my hand. Essentially have a weld on either side. That is 1/4-inch material, that's 3/16 plate. Our welds are stronger than either one of those, so if we were putting this stuff right, it would most likely break right at the top of our weld right there. It could pull the tubing out a little bit, but most likely it's going to tear right at the top of that weld, since that has a lot of structural integrity just in the shape. So I'm going to end this one right there. Next video out is going to be doing thinner tubing, and what I'm going to focus on is doing exhaust, because I feel like a lot of guys are going to need some experience doing exhaust, and I'm going to give you some pretty good pointers on doing exhaust with one of those welders, and we're going to try out some stainless flux core as well. So hopefully that all works out. But in the meantime, so you can get ready for the exhaust video, there's quite a few exhaust videos, but check this one out right here. This is an exhaust expander that I made on the channel, and it's a very, very good tool, and it'll make doing exhaust a lot easier, especially if you're an amateur welder, and you should be able to succeed with it. So I want to set everyone up for success, unlike my comments, which I can't do. And then up here is my favorite video I've ever made. That's a 1993 9C1 that I built into a hot rod manual block with a 3-stroke small block Chevy. I did a lot of mods to it, but I hit the mod so well you can't really tell I did that. So anyway, check that video out. It's my favorite video I've ever done. I think it's really cool. I really want some algorithm figuring out get that video straight up. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon. Last video, general moment video.
it off smartly. Our pharmacists are vaccine experts. Don't know what you need? We can help. We have COVID-19 pneumonia and more vaccines. Want to get covered? Maddox accepts most insurance plans. You heard it right. Our vaccine experts make it easy to get vaccinated. You can keep being an expert in what you're passionate about. Ralph's, a world of care is in store. Learn more at ralphs.com/vaccine. Services and availability vary by location, age, and the restrictions may apply. Consult your insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our center yourself.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Make It Custom. Thank you all for being here for this video. Today, we're going to go over the basics of MIG welding. This is something that everybody needs to know. It's something that could be confusing if you're just starting out. How to set up your machine, how to listen for or look for the different things that could be wrong with your weld. So we're going to see how, your wire speed, your voltage setup, how your technique could affect your weld, and what my favorite techniques are to do MIG welding on steel. Let's get into the video. Alright, so what we're going to learn about in this video is just the basics of MIG welding. I'm using a Lincoln Electric SP175T. I bought it on Craigslist for, I think, $450 with the part of the bottle, just as an extra welder in case I run out of gas or whatever, somebody else is working in here. It's a great little machine. I've got 030 wire in it, and I've got 75-25 gas mix, 75% CO2, 25% argon. There are a couple of different gas mixes that you can use, but that's a really common one, and it's the only mix gas I use in my MIG welders. In this machine, it's pretty basic. It's got voltage and wire speed. You've got, A, B, C, D, or E for voltage, and we've got, just variable wire speed. These numbers don't really matter. Every machine is a little bit different. My Miller has the digital readout as to, feet per second, feet per minute on wire speed, and also has a digital readout for voltage. So I want you to be able to understand how to set up a MIG welder without looking for 17 volts and 200 feet per minute wire speed. That shouldn't matter. I want you to be able to listen to it, be able to look at it, be able to hear it, and make a good weld. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to focus on setting up the machine, a little bit of technique, what technique I use. Everybody's got a little bit of a different signature as to how they, whip their welds around when they're MIG welding. You're either making C's, you're whipping and pausing, that sort of thing. I'll show you the way I like to do it. This material is just 10 gauge steel. This is very common. This is kind of what most frames are made of if you're building a hot rod or whatever. I use this stuff a lot for brackets. But the same thing goes on all thicknesses of metal, on how to hear it and how to see it to know that you're making a good weld. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the machine wrong and let you guys listen to it and look at it and see what's wrong with it, and then we'll get to setting it right. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is let you listen to what it's like if you don't have enough wires. Basically, it's something that a welding teacher told me one time, and it really sticks in my head, is you want to hear like the perfect temperature of bacon frying. Like you got a mid pan, you got a fresh bit of bacon, and you drop it in there, and it's like, that's what you're looking for in MIG welding, a less scientific way of trying to figure out your correct settings. So I'm going to have not enough wire speed. Basically, you're going to hear a little bit of like a slower sizzle, and that indicates that you don't have enough wire speed. I'm going to put it on C right in the middle, have not enough wire speed. It might burn back on our tip a little bit. That's another sign. If your wire ever burns back and damages the tip, then you don't have enough wire speed, or your drive rollers inside your machine may not be tight enough to be pushing out your wire. Okay, well, actually, I'm going to attack it properly first. This is going to be not enough wire speed.
Toyota's a great number, because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. That's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturing websites as of 10/20/24.
So you hear that sizzle, sizzle, pop, sizzle, 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 pop. That's because the wire is going and touching the puddle, and then it's burning back because it's not feeding at a fast enough rate. What you want to hear in slow motion, basically, is the wire's coming down, it touches your puddle, it burns back, touches your puddle, burns back, touches your puddle, burns back, and and it just keeps going like tap, 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 tap. That's what makes that bacon frying sound. So you can see this weld. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it is definitely not enough wire speed. So I'm going to turn the wire up a little here and let you listen to that. This still may not be the perfect setting, but you'll be able to hear the difference. See, it's a much better sounding weld. I would say this weld is a little bit on the cold side. And what I mean by that is that the weld itself has not wet out on the edges. It has not flowed out a little bit flatter than what this is. It's a little bit too convex. So you want your weld to be able to flatten out or wet out and be nice and consistent. This one is a little bit on the cold side. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to hit another notch on here. This is my voltage. And then proportionately, you need a little bit more wire speed if you increase your voltage. So let's give this another try.
Hey guys, I'm Taylor at GoPowerSports.com. Today we're going to be putting together our off-road vintage go-kart.
Perfect.
In this kit, you will receive the vintage go-kart frame, the 40-inch axle, ManyCam single seat, the 30 series TAV kit. We went with the larger of the two off-road tire packages. These are the 18 950x8 cleats and the 145 70x6 knobs. You will receive a riser kit for your torque converter, 2 Springer spindle sets. That's the springs, the spindles, the nuts, and the bolts. 2 11-inch tie rods with ends. The mechanical brake system with a 6-inch disc. A 53-inch brake cable. Brake and throttle pedals. Throttle cable. Brake and throttle return springs. Steering wheel and steering wheel cap. Axle hardware including 1/4-inch keyways, 1-inch lock collars, and the axle bearing kit. A 62 sprocket, 3 feet of 420-inch chain with a master link, and a complete hardware package. Alright, so we're going to start on the rear end of this go-kart. We're going to put all of these parts onto the axle and then bolt the flanges onto the hanger so we can get the axle on. Start with a flange. Bearing. Leaves lock. Another flange. Lock collar, sprocket, lock collar, lock collar, disc, lock collar, and then the other bearing setup. So you sandwich the flanges first, and then bolt both of them on one side of the hanger. We're just getting these hand tight for now until we get everything centered. Now with the axle hanging, we're going to take a measurement to center up the axle on the frame. is 9 1/4. 9 1/4.